In today's cigar review, we have a cigar made by a queen, the Cigar Queen. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Daily Cigar. I am Lizardo Vives and today I have a cigar review. As I mentioned, a cigar made by the Cigar Queen. So stay tuned to the end as I will do an in-depth review of this cake by Karen Berger Connecticut. I will also be talking a little bit about the brand, why the Cigar Queen, and there is something new that I'm going to be adding to these videos. At the end of every review, I'm going to be scoring every cigar. So stay to the end and enjoy. I mean, this is a beautiful looking cigar. It's a Salomon and it's box pressed, so it has this nice taper to it. I like the way that it's been finished. I think the bands complement the cigar so well. It has the two bands. So on the top band, you have the K by Karen Berger in a nice font. In the bottom band, you have Connecticut, which is the wrapper that they used on this cigar. And I think, the colors, the blue, the red, it looks very nice on this cigar. The size, everything is perfect. I like the way that it's been finished. Around the back it says Nicaragua, which is the country that it was made. And overall the wrapper is just very nice construction. It has more almost like a silky finish when you touch the cigar. Very slippery, very nice sheen to it. Nothing bad, no big veins. It has been finished like a torpedo, so I'm going to be giving it a straight cut and I'm going to be enjoying this cigar in a little bit. Anyway, I'm going to cut it. I'm going to give it a slightly different cut to all of the cigars that I've been smoking till now. Instead of doing a straight cut that way, I'm going to be giving it as an angle, and I will explain why. Anyway, let's make a start. So what I'm going to try and do is cut the cigar at an angle. Instead of going straight, I want to go at an angle. And that will help me move the smoke inside the mouth and target different areas. So let's see if this works. That's it. So this is what I am looking for. A cut that is not straight. It's still a straight cut. It's not a V cut or anything, but instead of going straight horizontally, I went diagonally. Anyway, why I do this is when you put the cigar in your mouth and you take a draw, you can change, where the smoke hits. So instead of hitting the back of the mouth, you can make it hit the roof, hit the tongue. You can play a little bit about it. It also helps me to pick up some of the other notes. So I'm going to make a start. The end of the cigar, the foot of the cigar is quite small, so I'm going to be using a single flame. See if I don't damage the wrapper. Gotta be very careful not to damage the wrapper, but I mean, I'm really looking forward to smoking this. Okay, so at the beginning the draw is a little bit hard. That's because that little end, the foot of the cigar is quite small, so when it starts to burn, it will open up, it will open to the whole of the ring gauge, then you get a full draw. So take your time with it, don't rush it, don't pull too hard, let it burn on its own, let the oils warm up slowly. Don't take such a deep draw, just give it time. It will open up and you'll be able to enjoy it. Straight away I'm getting some notes of spice, a little bit in the back of the tongue, not much. Let me carry on, see what I pick up. It looks amazing. I love the way it looks. I think the bands have been positioned properly in the right place. Complements the cigar very nice. It's burning very linear, very well. You know, sometimes when the foot is a bit different, it's not normal foot. When you turn the cigar on, when you're lighting the cigar, you can burn the wrapper and it doesn't give you a linear burn. But this is going well. You know, it's only the start, so let's give it a bit of time, and then we see how it develops. But in the meantime, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the factory and about the brand. This K by Karen Berger is made in Nicaragua in the Esteli cigar factory, previously owned by the Don Kiki Berger. Now is owned by Karen Berger after his passing. The Esteli cigar factory are involved in growing, manufacture, and retail of cigars. It is a company that has been involved for many years in the industry, and not only as manufacturers of their own brands like K by Karen Berger and also Don Kiki, but they also do cigars for other brands. I'm really enjoying this cigar. So I am now coming to the end of the first third, and I gotta say, nice draw. It is quite smooth, but again it has a little bit of resistance, which is perfect to keep the cigar perfectly lit and not warming it up too much. So if it was too loose, you'll be drawing too much and it will get too hot and it warm up the whole cigar. At the moment, it has a great construction. It's only warm up to the second band, a bit soft there, but the rest of the cigar is still quite warm. It still has that nice sheen, that nice texture to it, almost silky. And I picked up some notes of nuts. I also picked up some caramel. At one point, tasted like a Snickers bar. On the retrohale, it was very floral. The aroma is very nice, very clean as well. No ammonia, nothing like that. The construction has been perfect. It's burning very linear. On the tongue, very clean tongue. No aftertaste, nothing like that. It is a very nice cigar. I'm enjoying this a lot. I wish you guys could try it, but I'm the one having the fun. Anyway, I have some notes from the master blender from the website. I'm going to read them to you, and then we'll see how it develops and if I pick up any of those notes. The master blender says that this cigar has some pleasing flavors, including spice, chocolate, butter, and fruit. Now, butter, I'm not sure, but I did pick up the nuts and the caramel, and now coming to the second third, quite close, I started to pick up some chocolate. Maybe that's why I had Snickers bar. I mean, nuts, caramel, and chocolate, Snickers bar. And on the retrohale was very floral. Let's see how it builds up. Maybe I get to pick up that butter. But I'm really enjoying this cigar, and I think it's a great example. If you're liking this review, please subscribe, give me a thumbs up. If you have tried any of the Karen Berger cigars or any of the Don Kiki cigars, let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think. I'm going to tell you a little bit about Karen, why she's called the Cigar Queen, and also about the brand. Karen Berger was named Queen of Cigars because the vast knowledge and experience from being submerged in the cigar industry for so many years. So she started to work at a young age in a cigar factory to help her pay for her studies. But she fell in love with cigars. She fell in love with the process, with tobacco, with everything, that she wanted to try all the steps and learn all the steps to making a premium cigar. During this time, years went by, time went by. The owner of the factory, Don Kiki, and Karen, they fell in love. They got married. Even though she was the owner, she carried on. The factory is quite unusual because normally they don't own everything, but this factory, they own farm, they own the factory, and they also have retail. So Karen has had a massive experience. She knows anything from soil to making the cigars to how to sell it to a customer, and she's very well respected for that. It has been many years. She has worked very hard together with her husband, but unfortunately in 2014 Don Kiki passed away, and everybody in the industry were wondering what's going to happen because they don't not only make their own cigars like Don Kiki cigars, but they also make cigars for other brands. Well, Karen stepped up and she said she wanted to keep the legacy going, her husband's legacy, and she wanted to build a legacy for her own. She created the K by Karen Berger, which K by Karen Berger is not just K for Karen, it also K for Kiki. So she continues also the husband name going along even with her own brand. The Don Kiki cigars are still being made, and now she's all over the States, she's in Europe and many other countries. So she's done very well, and I think myself she deserves to be the queen of cigars. I think there's many more things coming from her. I interviewed her a few months back. It was in Spanish, but I will try and do another interview. So make sure you subscribe. This interview I will try doing in English, and I'll put it here in YouTube for you guys to watch. If you have tried this cigar, let me know in the comments. But make sure you subscribe and give me a thumbs up. You will know when I do the interview with her. And she's a very special person, very nice to interview, and a lovely story. I think, the way that everything worked out for her and the story is very sweet and very loving. Anyway, I am coming now to the second part of the cigar, the second third. I want to see how it develops, and I'm going to give you a little bit more notes on it. It is time to remove the bands now. I smoked most of the second third. I've enjoyed this cigar so much, guys. It's so nice, so soft, so medium body. There is definitely chocolate there. On the retrohale, some floral notes and some spices. I'm starting to pick up spices, something like a cinnamon maybe around there. A little bit of cedar as well, a little bit of tingling in the mouth, but nothing strong. It is very subtle. It is, you gotta concentrate to feel them. It is a medium body cigar. The ash fell a few times. It burns very well. Linear, the ash fell, but it shows the cherry, which is very nice because it has that cone. And I'm having a little bit of problems with the ash actually. I was hoping it was gonna hold for a little bit longer. I don't know if it's the way that I'm holding it or something, but it has fallen a few times. I wanted to see, a longer ash, but apart from that, it burns kind of linear. And this third, it has gone a little bit crooked. It hasn't gone straight, but it's not bad. I haven't had to relate. I haven't had to, fix anything. I'm gonna remove the bands now because they're loose now, so they're gonna come off pretty easy. Look at that. It helps as well the shape of the cigar, but I like that when you can remove a band without causing any damage to the cigar. I can carry on smoking this all the way to the bottom without a problem, and I am actually going to do that. I've paired it with coffee. I have an espresso from Ethiopia, and it says that it's very fruity. I wanted to try with this cigar, and it does help when you pair something that is going to help you pronounce those tastes and those flavors on a cigar. After I had a couple of sips of coffee, those fruity notes, they started to come up. So I've only had coffee basically a couple of minutes ago. I'm starting to pick them up. The chocolate is definitely there. And now that I'm talking and airing my mouth a little bit, I do see those notes of butter, but I think it's more like a texture on your tongue. It's not actually a note that you can pick up, but it is an excellent cigar, very well built. It still feels very silky, very well constructed. I'm enjoying this a lot. The cut that I gave it is good because you can turn the cigar around, and it was hitting the top of my mouth, and I was picking up those floral notes, the fruity notes on the tongue. Now it's giving me that smoothness on the tongue, quite nice. No ammonia. I haven't had anything. It's warmed up. All the oils have warmed up. Nothing about ammonia. It's still very well constructed. The only complaint I have would be the ash. It didn't last as long as I wanted it to hold for. But apart from that, as long as I don't have to relate the cigar or I don't have any burning issues, it's okay. It is a mild cigar, easy to smoke late at night, in the morning. You just need time. This cigar can take anything up to 2 hours. It is quite big at the beginning, quite thick at the beginning as well. So it does take some time for it to warm up. It takes some time for you to smoke it. It's going to take me about 2 hours, 2 hours and 10-20 minutes, depending on how, how much I smoke it. But it is an enjoyable smoke. So the band came off, and I've been enjoying this cigar all the way from the beginning to now, the last third. It is a beautiful cigar, nice to smoke, very easy, very creamy. On this third, I picked up some fruity notes on the retrohale. I also picked up some spices, something like a cinnamon or something like that. It has been very enjoyable. It corrected itself, is very linear. The ash again keeps falling off. It only holds for about 2-3 centimeters and it drops, which is something that I'm not too happy about. I like to see a cigar with a longer ash, so you're able to assess the ash, what kind of ashes it got, how is it burning, and everything, the construction. Although the ash drops, it is good to see a nice cherry, a nice cone on the ash. It tells you that it's been well constructed. It has burned all the way through. No issues at all. It is a cigar that I would recommend and I will keep. But first, let's see how it scores. It is the new part that I'm adding to the videos. I'm going to be scoring the cigars, and hopefully you guys find it useful. So one of the first points I want to touch is visually. Visually, I gave this cigar a 95. I think it looks very nice. I like that Salomon box press. It looks beautiful. When you light it up, it burns very nice. It looks really good. It has a nice sheen to it. It has a silky feel to it. The band looks very nice. It's a beautiful cigar. Overall, I gave it a 95. On the first third, I like that, being this Vitola, it started really small, and then it widened up, and you feel that on the draw. You feel it on the flavors, on the notes, how much air is coming through. I really like that, and it has some really nice creamy notes. Straight away, I knew what the cigar was going to be like, and I really like that. So I gave it a strong 95. On the second third, I gave the cigar an 85, and it was mostly because the ash didn't hold for too long, so I couldn't see the ash very well. I didn't see, that nice cone that the Vitola has. It dropped, but still, I picked up some good notes, and it was flavorful, very creamy, very nice aroma. It was pleasant, but I gave it an 85. On the last third, this third over here, I'm giving it a 90. Again, ash keeps falling, but I like that I was able to remove the bands without making any damage to the cigar. It still, feels very good in your hand. It hasn't gone too hot. It hasn't gone too squishy. So it is a nice cigar. I gave it a 90. The draw. I like the draw. I like that from the beginning it's a little bit tight, then it widened up, and I think it's perfect. It has a perfect draw because it's not too wide, it's not too easy to pull for the cigar. It is just enough so that the cigar stays lit. You get all those flavors, plenty of smoke, but you don't overheat the cigar. So I'm giving it a 97. The ash is the one that scored the less, 80. And again, as I mentioned, it just keeps dropping. I like, to see an ash, to see the shape of the cigar, to see, be able to assess the ash, what color has it got, all of those things. I couldn't see that because it only holds for about 2-3 centimeters. The good thing is that every time it drops, you get to see the cherry, and it is well constructed. The leaves are where they have to be. The ligero is right on the middle. So I think that also helps with the nice burning. Very linear. There were the part in the second third that it wasn't burning too well, but afterwards it just became linear and very nice. Easy to smoke and to see. The smoke, it is a very creamy smoke, very pleasant smoke, and you feel it in your mouth and everything, but when the smoke clears your mouth, it leaves you with a clean palate, and I like that. So I scored it with a 95. Overall, the cigar scored a 91, so I highly recommend it. I'm going to keep some in my humidors. If you guys haven't tried it, give it a try, especially the Connecticut. This is the one. I will be reviewing the other Salomons that Karen has, so subscribe for that. But 91 is a good score. It is the first cigar that I'm scoring like this, that I'm giving an actual score for it. So let's see how all the new cigars will score, but I think 91 is quite good. Overall, guys, it's a beautiful cigar. Make sure you try it. I'm gonna carry on smoking this, relax for a little bit. I still got a couple of minutes left. And remember, cigar smoking is not a hobby, it's a lifestyle. So enjoy it.